So we're headed to Mayaguana, Bahamas. We just left the Turks and Caicos. We've got 8 to 10 knots on the beam, and we have the Spinnaker up, and we're making like 665 VMG, so it's pretty good. Nice comfortable sail. It's been a nice day sailing, and we got up early this morning. Avery just took a nap. How are you feeling now, Avery, after you woke up for your nap?
Still tired.
Still tired. And Julia has been doing some reading and schoolwork. What are you reading?
Green Glass House.
Yeah?
I'm
You like
reading
it?
The Mysterious Benedict Society.
Is it a mystery book?
Yeah, it's a mystery book.
Okay.
I'm reading The Mysterious Benedict Society.
The Mysterious Benedict Society. What's that about?
People taking over kids' brains, pretty much. Sort of,
Okay.
yes.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about something that was a drag, and I was dragging anchor the other night. We were in Sapodilla Bay on Provo, and the wind died. We went to bed, there was no wind. That anchorage is protected from north and east winds, but not at all really from south and west winds. 2 in the morning, a thunderstorm rolled in with southwest winds, and I woke up and we weren't dragging, but I put the anchor alarm on and we were pitching. The waves started to build up, so the boat was pitching. It's a very shallow anchorage, so we had about 60 or 70 feet out of scope in about 8 to 9 feet of water, and so we only had about a foot under our keel. And with a southwest wind, it was blowing us towards the beach, shallow water, so it was a lee shore. And I went back to bed, and maybe 10 minutes after I set the alarm, I heard it go off. And we, sure enough, were dragging, headed down towards the catamaran. I got the keys off the nav station, which took a minute or two, way too long, because we were at anchor for a few days, and they were buried in crap. So that was one lesson, is we probably should either leave the keys in the ignition or leave them where we can definitely get them quickly. I started the engine, yelled for Mom, and I went forward to let out some scope. But we use a snubber with a chain hook, and it's about a 20-foot long rope. We probably had 10, 12 feet of it already out. So I couldn't leave out very much scope without letting the snubber go, which would have probably lost the snubber. So I went and grabbed another rope, tied it to the end, and then out like 30 feet of scope more. So we were probably around 100 feet. So that's like a 10 to 1. But the anchor still was dragging. And so Mom was in the cockpit. I yelled for Julia to get up to help call it because it was very windy. And we started the engine, or the engine was going. We put the engine in gear, and it took a lot of throttle to get us to start pulling up chain. And we pulled the anchor up, and what was on it, but about a 3/4 inch diameter, 3-strand nylon, mooring line had wrapped around the fluke. It picked it up on the bottom, and that was preventing it from resetting. So I guess one of my lessons learned is basically, if we ever were to drag, I think the first thing you should just do is pull anchor. And that if you have the people on board to do it, forget about letting out more scope. If you can do it, just pull the anchor and reset. If you're short-handed, letting out scope might work, but generally there's a reason why the anchor is dragging, and if letting out scope probably isn't going to catch it. So Julia was calling. It was a pretty wet night, wasn't it? Thunderstorms and lightning. What's your memory of that night?
It was wet.
Yeah. Was it scary at all, or you just were taking care of business?
It wasn't scary.
No? I didn't realize that we were aground until the next day when we anchored over in West Caicos, and I went swimming and I saw that the bottom of our keel had no sea growth on it and was scratched paint down to the barrier coat on the lead. No big deal, but yeah, we were definitely hitting the bottom. How about you, Mom? Any lessons learned? What was your experience?
I think just to be a little bit more organized, and I think to know where your keys are and be able to turn the engine on quickly.
Especially knowing that we were going towards a lee shore too. You know, if we would have dragged anchor towards deep water, it's not a big deal. But you know, we were in shallow enough water that we were bouncing on the bottom, and that means we were pretty close to potentially losing our boat. I mean, if we got washed another 10 minutes, we would have been probably aground hard enough that with, you know, the 30-40 knot gusts that we were getting in the thunderstorm, we wouldn't have been able to turn the boat into the wind and motor off. And yeah, who knows? I mean, we would have probably had to wait till the storm passed and then tried to get the boat pointed into deeper water and motor off, but it might not have worked. We might have been aground hard at that point. What did you do, Avery, to help out?
Sleep.
You slept. You stayed out of the way. That's always good too. What else has been going on? We haven't done a vlog for ages. Months, yeah. We blew out our hydraulic backstay back there.
Mommy.
Where the hydraulic fitting goes in corroded a bit, and we blew that hydraulic fitting out a couple days ago and lost. Yeah, Mom like bruised her hand because
I had my hand around it and it blew up, and I thought I had lost my fingers because I felt all this hot, sticky, syrupy stuff, and my hand hurt a lot. And I realized it was just the oil from inside, and my fingers were fine, but my hand was sore for a while.
And Mom said she counted them. She's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then she was staring at her hand.
So thankfully, when I replaced our rigging, I added a turnbuckle above the hydraulic backstay because we had blown seals in that backstay before, and now we had the capability of retightening. So the backstay.
And I helped retighten.
Yes. That was good work, Avery. So the backstay is fully tightened back up. We just can't adjust it really easily now. No big deal. It seemed like a big deal at the moment when all of a sudden we were going upwind and we lost 6 inches of tension on our backstay. That felt like a big
And
deal.
we were feeling pretty much.
Yeah, that was heavy wind that day. Anyway, I think we're going to take down the Spinnaker now. We can't quite hold our ley line to Mayaguana. We're about 10 degrees low. We've been sailing that way for a couple hours, so we're gonna douse the Spinnaker and turn up 10 degrees and fly just the Genoa and make some lunch. It's about noon. Getting there.
I'm eating when we get there.
You're not gonna eat while we're sailing? No. All right.
I want peanut butter crackers.
Well, you can have some, I guess, for a snack. Any farewell wishes? No. All right. Over and out.